Hello everyone, welcome back to Secrets of Hidden History. Have you ever seen a big and beautiful building that feels full of secrets? A place where kings once lived, and where the red walls still whisper old stories. Today, we will travel to Delhi, India, to explore one of the most famous places in history, the Red Fort. But this story is not only about red stones. It's about dreams, beauty, betrayal, and the fight for freedom. The Red Fort, also called Lal Qila, is a big and strong fort in Old Delhi, India. It was built by the Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan, the same king who built the Taj Mahal, one of the most famous buildings in India. The fort is made of red sandstone, so people call it the Red Fort. When the sun shines, the red walls look bright and beautiful, and they can be seen from far away. Inside the Red Fort, there are many beautiful places. There are palaces where the kings and queens lived, royal gardens with trees and flowers, and water channels that helped make the fort cool and peaceful. Today, there are also museums where visitors can learn about history and see old objects from the Mughal time. The Red Fort was not just a home for kings. It was also a symbol of power, art, and culture. It shows the talent of builders and artists from that time. Even today, the Red Fort is one of the most famous places in India, and many people visit it to see its red walls, palaces and gardens, and to learn about history. The Red Fort was built by the great Emperor Shah Jahan in 1638. He wanted a new capital city for his empire, one that showed the power and glory of the Mughal dynasty. Because of this, he moved his capital from Agra to a new city he called Shahjahanabad, which is now Old Delhi. Shah Jahan invited his best architects, artists and engineers to build the fort. He wanted every part of the Red Fort, the walls, gates, palaces and gardens to look perfect and royal. Every detail was made with care and skill to show the strength of his empire. Building the Red Fort was not easy. It took 10 years to complete. After it was finished, the fort became the center of Mughal power for more than 200 years. Kings lived there, important meetings were held, and many ceremonies happened inside the fort. Today, the Red Fort is still a famous symbol of the Mughal Empire, showing the art, culture, and power of that time. People visit it to see its beauty and history. When did the Red Fort become important? The Red Fort became the main home of the Mughal emperors from 1648 onwards. Every morning, royal guards opened the giant gates, and ministers came to meet the emperor. Festivals like Eid, Diwali, and Nowruz were celebrated with lights, music, and fireworks inside the fort. But after the death of Shah Jahan, the Mughal Empire started to weaken. Different rulers came and went. Still, the Red Fort stood tall, a silent watcher of history. Later, in 1857, when Indians fought their first war of independence, the Red Fort became a symbol of freedom and hope. The Red Fort is in the center of Old Delhi, near the Yamuna River. It is very big and covers about 255 acres, which is as large as more than 190 football fields. The fort is very important in India because it was the home of the Mughal emperors and a place of power and culture. Inside the Red Fort, there are many famous buildings. The Diwan-e-Am, or Hall of Public Audience, is where the emperor met ordinary people. The Diwan-e-2, or Hall of Private Audience, is where the emperor met kings and important people. The Rang Mahal, or Palace of Colors, was where the royal ladies lived and enjoyed music. The Moti Masjid, or Pearl Mosque, was built by Aurangzeb for private prayers. The Nabathana, or Drum House, is where musicians played drums when the emperor entered. Today, the Red Fort is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, which means it is very special for the world. Every year on 15th August, the Prime Minister of India raises the national flag here. People from all over India and the world visit the fort to see its beauty, history, and royal buildings. It is a place full of history, culture, and tradition. The Red Fort was very special, more than just a palace. It was the center of the Mughal Empire where kings lived and ruled. Every part of the fort showed art, beauty, and smart designs. The buildings mixed Persian, Timurid, and Indian styles, which showed that the Mughals were powerful and open-minded. Inside the fort, there were water channels called Navrai-Bahisht, or the Stream of Paradise. Cold water flowed through the marble floors to keep the rooms cool in summer. This was a very smart idea, and even today's engineers admire how it worked. The fort was not just beautiful, but also cleverly built. The Red Fort also became a symbol of India's spirit. Even when the British ruled India, people remembered the fort as a sign of their history and pride. It reminded them of the glory of the Mughal Empire and India's rich culture. Today, the Red Fort is still important because it shows art, history, and India's strength. It is a place of pride, beauty, and tradition for all Indians. The Red Fort has seen many important events in Indian history. It was built by Emperor Shah Jahan, and later, his son Aurangzeb ruled from the same fort. Over time, many foreign rulers like the Persians, Afghans, and British attacked the fort and tried to take control. In 1857, when Indians started a big revolt against British rule, the last Mughal emperor, Bahadur Shah Jahan, lived in the Red Fort. But after the war, the British captured him and took control of the fort. They also damaged many parts and used some areas as military barracks. The beautiful fort lost much of its royal charm. However, the story of the Red Fort did not end there. In 1947, when India became free, the Red Fort became a symbol of independence and pride. Every year on 15th August, Independence Day, the Prime Minister of India hoists the national flag on its walls. This moment reminds everyone of India's long struggle for freedom and the journey from foreign rule to independence. The Red Fort still stands as a powerful reminder of India's brave past and proud present. The Red Fort is full of mystery and secrets that make it even more interesting. Some people believe there are secret tunnels under the fort that connect it to other Mughal buildings in Delhi. Others think there might be hidden treasures buried long ago by kings. Historians and experts are still studying the fort to find out if these stories are true. Long ago, the Red Fort was very beautiful and rich. Its walls and rooms were decorated with gold, silver, and shining jewels. The most famous treasure was the Peacock Throne, a royal seat covered with diamonds and precious stones. It was so bright that it looked like it was glowing. But in 1739, a Persian ruler named Nader Shah stole the throne and took it away. Even today, when you walk inside the Red Fort, you can feel its royal past. The quiet halls and old walls seem to whisper stories of kings and queens who once lived there. It feels as if the fort still remembers the footsteps of those who ruled India hundreds of years ago. The Red Fort remains a place of history, mystery, and hidden beauty. Today, the Red Fort is not just an old building. It is a symbol of India's pride and freedom. Every year on 15th August, the Prime Minister raises the Indian flag at the fort, and millions of people watch this on air. Many tourists from India and other countries visit the fort to see its beautiful design and learn about its history. The lights, voices, and music tell stories about the Mughal emperors and the fort's past. In the evening, there is a light and sound show at the Red Fort. It feels like going back in time. Shah Jahan built the Red Fort to look like a paradise on earth. Even after hundreds of years, his dream is still alive in the red stones, walls, and beautiful carvings of the fort. It shows that art and power can live forever through great buildings. The Red Fort is not only an important part of India's history, but also a part of world history. It tells us how one man's dream and hard work created something so strong and beautiful that time could not destroy it. The Red Fort is truly a symbol of greatness. The story of the Red Fort teaches us that history never dies. Even when kings and empires end, their beautiful creations keep their stories alive. When you look at the Red Fort, you are not just seeing red walls, but 400 years of Indian history, arc and strength. The Red Fort has seen many changes, times of power, sadness, and freedom. Just like India, it reminds us to be brave, creative, and free. So when you visit Delhi, see the Red Fort as a living story of India's past and spirit. You've been listening to Secrets of Hidden History with Vipin. If you enjoyed this journey, don't forget to follow, like, and share this video. Join me next time as we uncover another mystery from the past, because history is never truly gone, it's just waiting to be discovered.